Around in a circle. Steps are better. We're just starting.
Another one.
Well, the facilitator can see everyone.
Triangle! Them at the peak of the pyramid. I think we should have a triangle with our slot this side. Yeah. How about a pyramid? I know where I stand. Triangle! I'm not going to do anything except put my opinions across. You might fuck it up for everyone with your opinions and views.
Not really, no, because you've never shown any affiliation to this movement whatsoever.
Have I not helped though? Exposing Tavistock, common purpose, things like that?
Please go and have a bait check meeting.
Alright.
Sorry, Anthony.
Try and be constructive. Calm down. This safer space thing, they'll lynch me. They'll lynch me.
Well, the safer space lot.
I'm more actually worried about the safer spaces lot than I am about the people on camp, to be honest.
So who are these guys that look like they're about to run it?
I don't know, people in the process, group, I don't know. Should we ask for a temperature check on the facilitators?
Yeah, good thinking. Might check it. Might check it. I think that's a brilliant one, personally. Might check it quick.
Okay, so I think we're going to get going, everyone. My name is Richard. Hi, Richard. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, come down to facilitate along with
Julie.
And I haven't been very involved in Occupy recently, so hopefully having somebody who's going to
How about getting a facilitator that has?
help with this meeting. But luckily Julie has been more involved than me, so we're hoping that between us we can be
no confidence in the facilitator. No, shut up.
No, I think this is what this man just said. Change a facilitator. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that in terms of how we're talking to each other, I think shall we try and just speak loudly, but if some people find it difficult to speak loudly, then we'll do the mic check. Does that sound okay? Right.
So we're going to go around and just introduce ourselves and say our names. So I'm Julie.
What?
Tiffany. Vicky.
Anesu.
Haven't got a name.
Mark.
Natasha.
Mike.
Fun. Same full.
Top.
Well, this is a waste of time.
This is definitely a waste of time. I'm never going to do that.
So what's the point of that? Is that
I don't know. Can we just move on?
Hello, Dom.
No, mate. Do you want to get in there?
Yeah. But I know these people. Everyone here knows each other.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah. I'm
Don't
Sparta.
know
I am
these people.
Sister
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Do a direct point. Do a direct
The
point,
only people
man.
that don't know everyone, that doesn't know everyone here, are the people sitting in front, holding the meeting.
Yep, I totally agree.
Oh, fuck, Tina! This is like the first time I've seen Tina.
Who's Tina then?
One sitting next to Vika.
Welcome everybody. I will go through the agenda now. Yeah. So we decided there was a proposal that came to the process meeting, but we're not going to take consensus on that tonight. We decided that the best thing to happen with that proposal is for that proposal to go to the Safer Spaces working group that meets on a Thursday.
Sorry.
It's going through more discussion.
I'd like to say that you've just been introduced to the people that your proposal directly affects on a day-to-day basis.
Make a point.
I might be confused, but I thought the way the movement works was if things come to the process group, it's not your remit to say whether or not they go to the GA. It's your remit to put it to the GA and say, do you want to take consensus on this? Or do you want to actually discuss this? I don't know when your remit started being, we can decide what goes on the agenda, what's decided on what specific day. Because that gives you guys a level of control that I wasn't willing to give to the working group.
Okay, I'll explain the reason for that. It's because usually proposals come from working groups. If a proposal comes from an agreed working group to a process meeting, then it will go to a General Assembly. But this proposal didn't come from a working group, it came from Google, from group spaces. So we think that actually it would be much better if it did go to a working group, and then a working group could come to consensus and then bring it back to the GA. So that's our thinking.
Who's in the working group? Who gets to vote who's in the working group, and how many are going to be from Digital Square?
Yeah, I'm part of that.
Who else?
I haven't seen that particular proposal.
Okay, it's on, yeah. Well, the same.
Justice
Can I just answer? Sorry, yeah, one at a time. The Safer Spaces Working Group has had 3 meetings, one at St Paul's and 2 at Finsbury Square. It met on Thursday. Anybody is welcome to come along. It usually meets Thursday at 6:30. We're going to meet at 6 o'clock this Thursday. And Rosa
What's the process for joining a working group?
Anyone can join.
come along. Anyone
I
come
was
along.
looking on the internet, at all like working groups meetings, and it doesn't actually say where any of them are held. You know, and I've had quite trouble sometimes up at Finsbury trying to find out where certain meetings are.
It's going to be Finsbury Square at 6 o'clock. It's not on the website yet, but I'm going to put it on. I don't know who. Can someone do a stat? Because I'm not sure.
You're facilitator.
Okay, so a lot of hands have gone up at once, so it's difficult to get a definite order. So I'm just going to go round in that way because I don't know exactly who was first. So let's take that point first.
I think considering the reason we all came here is because of something that was going around on group spaces. If we're not going to discuss the actual proposal, we should at least discuss the huge divide which is going on between group spaces and Finsbury. And the fact that it's being talked about very directly and we have no knowledge of it.
Okay, so I'm just going to suggest, before we take these other points, maybe we'll try and address that point because it might meet some of the other concerns.
That's a really big point.
Absolutely.
That's basically what every point is about.
So I was just going to suggest, let's try and answer that point because it might be that the answer will deal with some of the other concerns.
Yeah, can we not take all the points and then go back to that?
So, I think it would be... Okay, alright, let's do it really quickly.
I think you don't know how to facilitate this meeting.
Have you been trained to facilitate?
He has.
He has been trained.
Leave him.
By who?
Leave him.
Yeah, come on purpose.
The suggestion that the discussion over this outrageous proposal the suggestion is to take the discussion somewhere else. I think that it would be vitally fair to let the people here who are affected by this discussion to voice their concern. Here at the GA, that is
Direct point, Charlie. Something factual has been said.
Let's take 2 more points and then Julie's going to talk a bit more about the reasoning for how we've structured the meeting that will hopefully deal with these concerns. Yeah, 1 and then we'll take that question.
I think one of the biggest concerns should be the fact that there is no internet connection thanks to finance on Finsbury Square. So none of us have access to this medium that you've decided to create that's called group space. The people that are here as part of the movement, who have been here for 5 months now, through hardship, through cold, through illness, through snow, are being talked to via a medium that they do not have access to because of the lack of technology, finance and internet on these sites. So this internet hierarchy that affects our lives on a day-to-day basis, we have no contact with them until they decide to come down here or want to meet us at their own pleasure.
Great, thanks for that,
I'd like to say...
So the next hand I can see is that one.
Yeah.
Then we'll hear a bit more about the...
A direct response to that is 10 minutes walk from here and about 10-15 minutes walk from Finsbury Square, Shoe Lane Library. You've got free internet access Monday to Friday at Shoe Lane Library, just off Fleet Street, direct point.
Thank you, alright, useful information. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just hear a bit more about what the plan for this evening from Julie now.
Okay. We do recognise that this proposal has very strong feelings. We do recognise that there's a feeling of division, and those issues that have been brought up about a digital divide, they've been brought up, they're real issues. So we think that the best way, because we know people really want to talk about those problems, is that we go into small groups. And those small groups have been partly informed. We can talk a little bit longer here, but when people are ready, I'm not suggesting now because I can feel that people want to say some more things, but when people are ready. So those small groups, I'll just run through them quickly because I think it'll be helpful. They're about safer spaces, camps and meeting, everywhere, not just in Finsbury, everywhere. They're also about process and democracy. They're also about working groups and structure, and they've been partly, we've chosen those themes because those are things that people, when they came to the process group, they said they were bothering them. And also Tim came along and he said that you've had some of those discussions at Finsbury Square. You've talked about rotation of roles, you've talked about communication. I've been there, I know about the digital divide. So the idea is that those spaces will be a chance to talk more, and then they will go to the relevant groups, such as the structure groups, such as process, such as the working groups. So that's the aim.
And so just to add to that, the idea of that is so that rather than all of us kind of talking about a proposal that maybe one person or a small group of people have come up with, we kind of say, right, these are the issues, let's break into groups and everybody gets to talk about them. So there's a more open way to come up.
Hey, process, man, Tom.
If only the National Assembly got that much attention.
Personally, I don't know the answer to that question.
Can we take 3 more points and then we'll kind of come back to this? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the point in process if you're not going to use it?
So we've got a clarification, let's take that.
I would agree that from what I understand,
I can't hear you.
From what I understand, there is a proposal for the rest of the occupied to associate themselves.
Talk to everyone.
If I understand well.
Okay,
Should we do mic check? Because can you hear?
Can you hear?
Yo, Tom, listen to the guy talking. You're talking about process. Listen.
Okay. Can we just shout that? Yeah, okay. Well, hear the mic it, so can I say that slowly?
In my understanding, I understand that this meeting is about the proposal which someone sent by email saying that they gonna disassociate themselves from Finsbury Square or exclude Finsbury Square from occupied. Is that correct?
No. Did you hear that? Yeah. Okay, shall I answer that question? Yes. Okay. I don't know who authored it.
What's the proposal?
I'm just going to take 2. I'm going to answer your question and then I'm going to answer your question. Okay?
Yes, but I can't get on Finsbury.
That's the whole point. That's the issue.
On a proposal for
a lot of people
that goes to an internet site and then it was put on group spaces.
Who authored it?
I don't know.
What's the point in finger pointing? Let's just discuss the
I
content.
don't know. I'm just going to go back to your question, which was, is this proposal going about, as you put it, disassociation, is this going to be, are we going to discuss that? We're not going to discuss that this evening, no.
Why not?
That's not what we're going to be
So what's
discussing.
the purpose of this GA?
The purpose of this GA is
Process.
the purpose of this GA
To get a new finance team.
regular GAs on a Friday night.
Process.
This proposal had came up. We know there's divisions, so the
You're not getting it right.
is to provide space to constructively talk about
Process.
People outside conference.
So I can see there's a number of hands up. I can imagine that we don't all want to spend too much of the meeting talking about what we're going to talk about. So just to check, are there any sort of points that are really about the agenda that we've gone through for this evening? So basically, splitting into small groups, talk about how
Why do they want to split everyone up?
decision making.
What happened to our GA the other day about getting a new finance team in?
safer spaces.
safer spaces. Any points on that?
Can you respect, man? At the back?
How is this happening?
Well, you just jeopardizing the whole camp. We are
He was pointing to that man over there and trying to make a direct point. So thank you for letting me know that there were some people who had their hands up. I just wanted to share with everyone again what we're talking about.
It's always causing that trouble, that one.
We're getting ignored on the fringes. I've got a new plan. New plan.
Oh wow, that's fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
You'd like to vote on that proposal?
You'd like to vote on the proposal that's put forward by
We'd like to hear the proposal.
Yes, I'd like to
hear the proposal, so we know what we're talking about. Would you like to hear the proposal? Well, someone will read out the proposal. It might take us a bit to find it. Has anybody got a copy of the proposal? Yeah. Okay, go read it out.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, the proposal. Occupy London requires safer spaces to perform its work. A safer space is a place where the people inhabiting and visiting that space are practicing sober, process-respecting, non-violence and peaceful behaviour. Any location not providing a safer space is not suitable for holding Occupy London meetings or events. Funding requests from such locations cannot be considered until they can be shown to provide a safer space in which Occupy London's work can continue. The same principles apply to individuals and working groups who do not follow the precepts of our Safer Spaces policy. An unsafe space and individuals or groups not practicing Safer Spaces policy do not represent Occupy London. We need alternatives. This is where we work towards them.
You missed out the end bit. You missed out the end. You missed out the end.
So what I'm going to suggest that we do is ask if there's any clarifying questions about it. Clearly there's one that lots of people shouted out, so we'll ask that one first.
Sorry, process.
Any
My point hasn't actually been taken on board. I asked if we could do a temperature check on those who would like to vote on that proposal.
So I was going to say, any clarifying questions on what this is, and then let's do a temperature check on if this is what people want to talk about.
You missed out.
Okay, so any questions on it?
He said vote about, not talk about.
One, two.
I thought this was supposed to be like an open group. I don't understand how we can hear a proposal from an invisible person. Like, we don't know who wrote the proposal. Why should we adhere to what they've written when we don't even know who they are?
So that's a concern
that's
about
why
the
we need to
process.
know.
Okay, thanks. So any just questions that people just didn't understand this proposal? Okay, so let's take units 1, 2, 3.
In response to that, like, this seems to have come out after the Finance GA which happened at Finsbury Square and the GA that was held the next day. Next day, there was about this many people and everybody decided that they wanted a complete rehaul of the finance team for one. And this seems to be just a smokescreen for the finance team not to hand over responsibility to people that don't trust what's going on at the moment. This seems like just one big smokescreen.
So that was a concern about that proposal. So there's obviously lots of hands up. It looks like there's lots of people who want to talk.
Can we vote on it now?
Should we just jump to doing a temperature check on do people want to talk about it?
What we're asking you now
Anthony's
is,
point
like
is actually still valid.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
It's still Anthony's turn. It's still Anthony's turn.
He doesn't have a clue.
Clarification point.
Clarification, please.
Before board, we will discuss this, but it goes deeper.
So I was going to say, basically, we wanted to spend this evening talking about this, but
We have a clarification point. Clarification point. Is the facilitator listening? Clarification point. You need to take the clarification point.
I'm trying to help the group decide what
So take the clarification point.
That's a bit of a Delphi technique there. Sorry.
My point was,
My point was,
my point was not should we do a temperature check on who wants to talk about this issue, or can we do a temperature check on who wants to vote on this proposal? Yeah.
fine.
So that's what I'm asking you.
Right, let's do it. Get it done then. Temperature check.
But, okay. First of all, I suppose my concern is that there's obviously some people that are
You're not meant to have concerns. You're not meant to give an info as a facilitator.
As a facilitator, you do not have an opinion.
Is that there are obviously some people that are very about this.
Hang on, mate. Let me roll this.
The reason I'm here is because of this email.
Talk about something else.
Okay, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to have any kind of meeting if we're not listening to each other.
Why don't we just take the vote? Take the vote. Just take the vote.
Okay, so she knows facilitate the meeting. She knows the facilitate.
I facilitate.
I'll give it a go, but I've never facilitated a meeting. Okay, well, I'll have thank you. That'll be good. Would you take the stand? Okay, take the
As I understood, someone who is facilitating and someone who is co-facilitating, they have been through a process. And shall we find out who were those people that were in the process, what they have discussed to be about this General Assembly tonight, and then discuss. I don't know who is he. I know. Exactly. I know. So what I'm saying is we have to find out if we want. You can't. I can say I will facilitate. It doesn't work like that. No.
Richard and I have been through the process meeting and we're facilitating this meeting, and Rosa I hope can help take the stance and take the points. We're going to take a few more points because I think it's good that people want to talk about this a little bit longer.
Sorry.
And then I'm going to check.
I'm going to say it one more time. Yeah. People want to vote on this proposal. Can we do a temperature check on people who would like to vote on this proposal?
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
He doesn't want to do what you're saying.
Who wants to? Okay, are you asking me to take a temperature check on whether to have a vote or actually take a vote?
On whether to have a vote on this proposal, right?
Do you want to have a temperature check on?
No!
Who would like to?
Yes. You have a temperature. Who would like to have a vote?
Give me a little while. I'm at the occupied GA.
Temperature check.
It's all going off at the moment.
It sounds like that's what people are very keen to do. They want to go through the process.
All right. Give me about half hour because people are trying to take the movement back off the orchestrated hierarchy, and they're shitting themselves because it looks like they're going to lose their jobs. It's all on live stream at the moment.
No.
I'm going to get off. I'll talk to you in a minute. Just give me a little while.
You're going to have to go in turn. So you, Anthony, I know you want to make a point, but you've already. One more point.
One more point, please. All right. I was at the process meeting earlier. Process, please. Process, please.
Please sit down and I'll take your turn.
Perhaps we should all sit down.
Yeah. Okay. During the process meeting earlier.
Shout at me. You might have to, mate.
All right.
So we know who's in order.
So, during the process meeting earlier, you talked about addressing quite a few issues, which I think is still valid.
Yeah? I'm not asking for us to all sit down and spend a lot of time talking about the proposal. Yeah? What I'm asking for is for whether these people here, the people, would like to vote on that proposal. Yeah? So I don't think we need to really take loads and loads more points about the proposal itself. I think we just need to vote on it and then move on to other things that are on the agenda. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah?
Okay, I'm going to take this. Can you keep in mind what Anthony's suggesting and take a few more points on that, and then we'll see if we can come to a vote on that, okay?
Let's just vote.
Just, direct points first. Oh, yeah. So, Arthur.
As a direct point to that statement of whatever it is, basically, we always had our meetings down here at St Paul's. Finsbury Square was always just a living camp. This is where the problem has come in. Now we're trying to have meetings in a place that is unfit to have meetings anyway. That's how I feel about it. There isn't no group space there to have like a Tent City University or any decent group meeting space. And for anybody to come up with that online or wherever, I don't even take that piece of paper worth writing on. And like it's irrelevant to the situation. The problem is that we haven't got enough space to hold meetings there properly anyway, which is why people are feeling a bit up in the air because of the move. And this is probably just another problem that's connected to it. So like, we need to sort out the other
well, there are two glaringly obvious like ridiculousnesses going on in this meeting. One, a proposal drafted by an anonymous individual on the internet has been allowed to form a GA. A proposal drafted by an individual at the meeting isn't allowed to be put to temperature check. That is the ridiculousness of the facilitation going on. This random anonymised proposal has called this GA. Obviously people come here to discuss or to decide. One gentleman that's actually come to the GA has said, let's have a temperature check just once and for all on whether people are here to vote on this proposal. And you will not let that happen. Just take the temperature check.
Okay, I said at the beginning, we're going to take a few more points and then we're going to...
Those who are in favour of this process. Any blocks?
We're not using the process. We've got 3 people who've had their hand up for a while. We've got 2 hands up, but we've also got a clarification point.
Just checking the hands.
Andrea had... Let's check Andrea, Ali, and Andrea, Ali, and then...
Me? Talking about me?
Okay, listen, I just want to say, right, the thing is about safety is really important, and I think actually about soberness is really important too, but right now, I feel, because a lot of people are full of fear of one another, that, you know, we need to start apologising where we've made mistakes as a community. I really feel that's really important, because otherwise people are going to go more and more into denial and trauma and fear and pain, and we're never going to resolve some of these things. And these are sometimes just individual incidences, right? And, you know, so please, you know, look into your hearts and just, are you feeling comfortable with what's happened in the last few days and weeks? Because I think I personally have got a few of those. Anyway, that...
Ellie next, but sorry, what does this sign actually?
Let Connor go first, direct.
Direct point, okay. Right, direct point first.
We've been hearing an awful lot about the safer space, and this is something I think is really important we need to talk about. I'm sure this woman is very pure at heart in what she says, and you've talked about we're going to descend into denial and trauma and fear and pain. And that may well be a risk for some people, but the easiest way we're going to go bottoms up is if we all start running around going, denial is on the table, trauma is on the table, fear and pain are all there, and we're at risk of just diving into this right now. That is not on the cards. The vast majority of people in Finsbury Square do not feel at risk of denial, trauma, fear or pain. That is not our looming problem. It may well be for a very small group of people, but this is not the... If we want to make that a